a special healing chant dedicated to the sun. It comes from Naples. It's called Jesce Sole, which means come out, sun. And I will explain after I chant the healing power of this scale called the Neapolitan scale and the Lydian mode, used so much in Southern Italian music. And in pre-Christian times, they already knew that this scale had the power to calm the mind. And this chant invokes the healing power of the sun, symbolizing rebirth, resurrection, the coming of the light after darkness. Jesce Sole, Jesce Sole, Imperatore, sceglie imperatore, Jesce Sole, sceglie imperatore, sceglie imperatore, Jesce Sole. So I would like to explain how you can all benefit from learning this chant, Jesce Sole. As I was chanting it, you could probably feel the power of that scale. The words Jesce Sole, which you can repeat, mean come out sun. Scagliente means blazing, burning. Imperatore, emperor. So come out sun, burning emperor. This chant was done in devotion by the sea, and that's why I suggest if you sing this, to use an ocean ground or be by the water, because this prayer is really connecting us to the water, to the primordial mother, beginning of life, and to the sun god, the great spirit. So as you chant with me or just listen to the voice, I ask that you really let go of any unwanted thoughts or unwanted feelings and really connect to the sound of the ocean, as if you're floating in the arms of Aphrodite, Venus, Iemanjá, many different names for the goddess of love and the sea. And as you're floating, you're looking up and see the sun, and the sun embraces you with powerful healing energy. So each ray can penetrate you, and as if you invoke the healing power of the sun, really think of bringing in the light after darkness, especially in this time when we're living with fear and things are not certain at all in our future. If we really let go and feel nurtured and loved by the goddess of love, the sea, beginning of life, and then protected and enlightened by the sun, then we can really receive healing and miracles. So really think about that as you're floating and really enjoying the sun rays, the sunlight, as you try to chant with me. Jesce Sole, Jesce Sole, scaglia imperatore, scaglia imperatore, Jesce Sole, Jesce Sole, scagliante imperatore, scagliante imperatore, when I do this chant by the ocean in Hawaii, Brazil, Italy, or here where I live by the river, the Hudson River, there have been times when it's rainy or cloudy, and I do this as an enchantment, because this is really what it is, that the clouds break and the sun comes out. And a lot of people around me have seen that happen. It's also been very interesting that I was doing this chant in February in Hawaii before I came back here, and then the virus, had a really bad outbreak here in New York and everywhere else. But when I was doing it in Hawaii, and I also was teaching a workshop here, I had a very clear vision of the sun as a star, the shape of a star, really strong with yellow, golden, and red colors, hitting in the center that image of the coronavirus that I have been seeing every day, and we're all bombarded with that ugly image. But in this vision that I have when I chant this, the sun breaks that image in 1,000 pieces. It makes it disintegrate, and it becomes dark. The virus disintegrates and goes down into a volcano that absorbs it. This is a vision that I've had before it became such a bad pandemic. And every time I do it, I keep seeing that visualized. And I think if we all do that, chanting to the sun as the rebirth, coming back on the light, and really focus on that, I think the collective effort can help make that happen, as people did in the ancient times. So a little history of this chant is that I learned it from many books that I've studied and research and done only upon it in music. So it's also connected to the Roman poet Virgil, who was an enlightened, initiated poet and a shaman and a healer. And he was initiated in the mysteries of the goddess Cybele, the goddess of the earth, for which we chant to the Black Madonna Monte Vergine, the other prayer. So Virgil was known not only as a poet, but as this healer who had a garden of healing herbs in a sacred mountain called Monte Vergine, initiating the mysteries of Cybele. And because of his healing powers, he was also worshipped by the Neapolitans as the sun god. And when we sing that chant, we also invoke for Virgil to come back in a way to enlighten us for a salvation of this very difficult situation we're living in, which is the ecological situation of the earth. In those times, in those mysteries, they knew the earth was a living being, and in their initiation, that's what they did. They worshipped her, Mother Earth, Cybele, the goddess Isis, many different names, but one universal mother, and being embraced by her unconditional love.